Leo, let me be honest with you. If you don't pause now, if you don't stop to really pay attention, you might fall. Not literally, of course, but emotionally, energetically, even spiritually. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that because I care enough to say it clearly. That's the purpose of this message, right here, right now. What's coming in this video is not entertainment. It's a wake-up call. The kind of message you only hear when your soul is finally quiet enough to listen. And if you found your way here today, it means one thing: you're ready. Ready to hear what the cards, the stars, and the still small voice within you have been trying to say for a while now. Sometimes life doesn't scream. It whispers. Sometimes the universe doesn't crash through the door. It knocks once and waits. That knock is this moment. And you're standing at the edge of something big. Lately, have you felt it? That strange sensation in your chest, like something's off but you can't explain it? That hunch that someone or something is pulling your energy backward, even when you've tried so hard to move forward? It's not your imagination. And no, you're not weak for feeling tired. You're not broken because you're questioning everything. What's really happening is that your spirit knows the truth, even when your mind is still catching up. The truth is, you've been giving too much to the wrong things. Waiting too long for someone else's clarity. Ignoring your own voice just to keep the peace. And that's where it gets dangerous, Leo. Because when a lion forgets how to roar, the world forgets to listen. But not here. Not now. Here, in this space, you are seen. You are heard. And you are being called to return to your own center of power. So let me ask you something real. What brought you here today? What stirred in your gut and made you click this video? What part of you whispered, "I need to know"? That voice that whispers is sacred. And I want you to honor it by writing it down in the comments. Say it clearly: "I'm ready to hear the truth." That's not just a sentence. It's a spiritual signature. A confirmation that you're open to what's unfolding. And if you feel comfortable, share your birthday or an angel number that keeps showing up for you. These small signs? They're the universe's way of saying you're not imagining any of this. You're being guided, even when you don't see the full map yet. Let me take a second to thank you truly for being here. Your presence means more than you know. Every time you like, comment, or subscribe to this space, you don't just support a channel. You anchor this spiritual community. You expand the reach of truth. You give this work breath. And I promise you, what's about to be revealed in this reading, it's not ordinary. It's not random. It's exactly what your soul has been waiting to hear. So stay with me, Leo. Don't scroll. Don't second guess. What the universe is about to reveal to you is raw, real, and maybe even a little uncomfortable, but it will set something free. And maybe, just maybe, that something is you. Let's go deeper. The cards have started to speak. And they never lie. Leo, sometimes the most dangerous prisons are the ones we can't see. They don't come with bars or locks. They come disguised as comfort, as routine, as something or someone that once felt like home. But if you've been feeling drained lately, like you're walking in circles with no clear direction, there's a reason. And it's not because you're broken or weak. It's because something from your past is quietly pulling at you, tethering you to a version of yourself that no longer fits who you're becoming. It's like watching a lion, majestic, golden, full of fire, roaming a field it's outgrown, unaware that a fine, nearly invisible chain is still wrapped around one of its paws. That chain could be a person who once loved you but never truly saw you. It could be a belief you formed in childhood that says you're too much or not enough. It could be an old story you keep telling yourself, one that sounds like safety but feels like suffocation. Astrologically, this energy often shows up when the sun, the very planet that rules your signs, it's close to the south node in the sky. The south node represents what you've mastered, but also what can keep you stuck. It's karma. It's muscle memory. It's everything familiar but not necessarily good for you. When this alignment shows up, it can make you nostalgic, even sentimental. Suddenly, you're thinking about someone from years ago, or repeating a cycle you swore you outgrew. But here's the truth: nostalgia isn't always intuition. Sometimes it's just your past asking for attention it no longer deserves. In the cards, this energy is mirrored in the Devil and the Six of Cups. At first glance, they seem warm, even romantic. The Six of Cups is full of memory, sweetness, innocence. But paired with the Devil, that sweetness turns sticky, entangling, addictive. It's the kind of connection that feels magnetic but keeps you small. The kind that whispers, "You need me to feel whole," when really, it's just keeping you from becoming who you're meant to be. This is not your energy anymore. And deep down, you know it. That subtle tension in your chest. That restless sleep. That emotional fatigue that doesn't quite make sense. Those are all signs that you're still aligning with a frequency that's expired. According to the law of attraction, we match what we tolerate. If you're still letting a ghost from your past live rent-free in your heart, your energy field is echoing that back out into the world, and guess what? The world responds. So I want to gently ask you something. Is there a pattern that's been repeating for you lately? A person who reappears just when you're starting to heal? A situation that plays out again and again, only with different faces and names? If that hits somewhere tender, take a moment and share it in the comments. Write it out. Name it. That's how you release it. There's real power in naming what has power over you. And if you've been quietly wondering why your manifestations haven't arrived, why your intentions feel blocked, this might be it. You're trying to move forward while still dragging emotional weight from the past. It's like trying to fly while holding a bag of stones. You can't rise while you're still holding on. Here's the good news: awareness is already healing. The moment you recognize the pattern, you begin to break it. You don't need to fight your past. You just need to stop feeding it. The lion doesn't roar at its old cage, it simply walks away. What's next for you is clarity. But to receive it, you'll need to make room. And that starts now. So take a breath, Leo. You're not who you used to be. You're stronger, wiser, and far more aware. Don't mistake the past for your path. Let it gun it in anger, but in peace. And as you do, life will begin to meet you at the level of your courage, not your fear. Let's move forward together. Sometimes you don't even notice when it happens. You think you're just keeping the peace, being flexible, being kind. You tell yourself, "I'll let this go, it's not worth the fight." And then one day, You look around and realize you've gone quiet in rooms where you used to shine. That's how it begins. The slow erosion of your voice, your vision, your value. Leo, you were never meant to roar in silence. You weren't built to ask for permission to exist. You were born with light in your bones and a crown that didn't need to be earned. It was yours by design. But even lions forget sometimes. Especially when life tests you through people who don't know how to hold your power without trying to dim it. There may have been situations, relationships, jobs, dynamics that left you questioning your worth. Slowly, without meaning to, you started handing pieces of your power away. And it wasn't just about control, it was about belonging. About wanting to be loved, understood, accepted. But let's be honest, some of the people you bent for would have never bent for you. That's not compromise. That's self-abandonment. Astrologically, this is the echo of Saturn, the great teacher. When Saturn touches your chart in key places, it's like going through an emotional audit. Everything that isn't stable, real, or aligned with your truth starts to crack. It doesn't happen to punish you. It happens to push you to rebuild, but this time, from a place of integrity. In the tarot, we see this reflected through the reversed Emperor and the Five of Swords. The Emperor, upside down, isn't a leader. He's lost in the noise of everyone else's expectations, doubting himself, unsure whether he's allowed to take up space. The Five of Swords reveals the toll it's taken: small betrayals, one-sided wins, silent resentments. Maybe you've been saying yes when everything in you screamed no. Maybe you've been giving chances to people who don't even meet you halfway. But there's a turning point available now. This isn't just about blaming the past, it's about reclaiming what you gave away. This is the moment to take your energy back. All of it. Your voice. Your clarity. Your instincts. That inner knowing that's been quietly asking, when did I stop leading my own life? So here's a gentle practice. Grab a piece of paper and write down 3 places in your life where you know boundaries are needed. No drama. No confrontation. Just clarity. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's deciding not to answer that one text that always throws you off center. Maybe it's something simple, like protecting your mornings or saying no without explaining yourself. Whatever it is, write it down. You're not being difficult, you're being deliberate. To support this process, consider what you're wearing, what you're surrounding yourself with. Certain colors carry frequencies that can reinforce your energy. Golden yellow is the hue of self-worth, confidence, divine radiance. Royal blue represents sovereignty, clear communication, a return to personal truth. Let them wrap around you like an affirmation: I remember who I am. And if you feel called, type it out in the comments below: I am light that cannot be dimmed. Say it, own it, let the universe witness it. That's how we rewire the pattern from the inside out. That's how the lion begins to roar again. Not from aggression, but from grounded presence. This isn't about domination or proving anything to anyone. It's about living from your core again. When you lead from your center, everything real aligns. Everything false fades. And in that space, your crown doesn't need defending, it just fits. Let's keep walking. The next shift is already waiting. Sometimes it doesn't come as a grand sign. It comes as a soft ping, a notification, a line of text that seems ordinary but your gut knows better. Or maybe it's a dream that keeps returning. A symbol on a billboard that somehow feels personal. A name you haven't spoken in years that suddenly shows up everywhere. These things, they're not accidents. They're the universe's way of saying, wake up. You're about to see what you couldn't before. Leo, when you've been asleep to your truth for too long, life finds a way to shake you. And that shake doesn't always feel gentle. It feels like the tower in Tarota's sudden shift, a truth bomb, a moment that pulls the rug out from under your ego but saves your soul in the process. It breaks the illusion wide open so you can stop surviving and start seeing. That's what the Tower plus Page of Swords combination does. The Tower says, enough pretending, and the Page of Swords whispers, pay attention. You may receive a message, an email, a random post on social media, and though it may seem small, it will hit you with a kind of clarity you can't unfeel. What matters isn't who says it or how it shows up. What matters is how it lands. You might find yourself suddenly speechless, emotional, even unsettled. That's okay. That's not chaos. That's alignment shifting gears. And once it starts, it doesn't stop until the truth settles in your bones. You're not crazy for sensing something big is about to happen. You're not being dramatic for thinking a simple moment meant more than it appeared. You're waking up. And here's how the law of attraction fits into all of this. When you start aligning with honesty, especially emotional honesty, the universe mirrors it back through signs, messages, and people. Not always wrapped in beauty, but always wrapped in truth. When you open your eyes, the world responds with a new lens. But let me be real with you. These confirmations don't always feel like answers. Sometimes they feel like losses. Like realizing someone you've been waiting for isn't coming back the way you hoped. Like reading a message that confirms what your intuition already knew but your heart wasn't ready to accept. It hurts, but it liberates. These moments are holy in their own way. They slice through the noise. They give you a choice: keep clinging to the version of life that almost worked, or step fully into the version that's been quietly waiting for you to notice it. You might ask, but why now? Because you're finally ready. The timing isn't about the person or the event, it's about your capacity to hear the truth without collapsing under it. You've been through enough to recognize real from fantasy. You're strong enough now to hold your ground when the mask falls. And that's exactly what this kind of message is here to do, not to break you, but to break open the part of you that's been locked away for too long. So I want you to ask yourself, have you received a sign recently that stopped you in your tracks? A message that felt like more than just coincidence? If so, share it in the comments. Name it. Witnessing it is the first step to owning its power. It may have shaken you, but it also shaped you. The path ahead is lighter, not because life gets easier, but because you're no longer carrying the weight of pretending. You're moving with the truth now. And truth, no matter how it arrives, is never here to harm. It's here to heal. So take that breath, Leo. Let the unexpected message do what it came to do. Let it awaken the lion in you that refuses to live asleep one day longer. After the dust settles from the truth that shook you, there's a silence. Not the kind that feels empty, but the kind that feels like a blank page. That's where you are now. You're not at the end. You're not even lost. You're standing at the beginning again. But this time, Leo, you're not waiting for something to happen to you. This time, you're the one holding the pen. The energy of the magician has entered the room, and whether you're aware of it or not, it's already working through you. This card isn't just a symbol. It's a reflection. A mirror of what happens when you stop looking outside for answers and start tuning into your own inner power. In the language of tarot, the magician is pure potential, intentional, grounded, and magnetic. It speaks to that moment when you realize you're not just reacting to life. You're shaping it. In numerology, this is the energy of the number 1. Beginnings. Creation. Ownership. It's the self, not in the sense of ego, but in the sense of alignment. The kind of I am that doesn't need permission, because it remembers its connection to all things. That's what you're stepping into now. But here's the part no one tells you. Even when the magic is available, even when the door is wide open, even when the universe whispers, "Go ahead. You're ready," there's still that tiny voice in your head. The one that says, "What if I mess it up? What if I don't deserve this? What if it's too late?" That's the weeds in your garden. The doubt, the worry, the fear. And even if you've already planted your seeds, your hopes, your dreams, your prayers, those weeds can choke out the growth if you're not careful. The soil is fertile. But it's up to you to clear the space. So let's do something simple, but powerful. Take a moment, right now, and write down 3 things you're ready to create. Not someday now. These could be personal goals, emotional shifts, physical manifestations, whatever your soul has been quietly asking for. Don't filter. Just write. Then, tape those 3 things to your mirror. Your real, physical mirror. And read them every morning. Not like a wish, but like a declaration. Because repetition trains the nervous system. Intention shapes vibration. And when your vibration shifts, your life follows. This isn't just a cute ritual. It's energetic architecture. Your thoughts are blueprints. Your feelings are fuel. Your words are tools. That's how the magician works, not by force, but by focus. Now, let's talk about love. Because this is where the test often returns. Sometimes, when your light starts to rise, someone from your past senses it. They feel your glow and want to come back, not because they've changed, but because your energy feels safe again. If they show up without growth, without ownership, without a new frequency, do not welcome them with an old emotion. That version of you is gone. And not because you're bitter, but because you've evolved. Just because you loved someone deeply doesn't mean they belong in your next chapter. Forgive, bless, release, but don't dilute your new magic for old patterns. Say it with me now, not just in your mind, but in the comments. I am the creator of my reality. Let the universe hear you. Let yourself hear you. There's something powerful about putting it in writing, anchoring it in space. You're not here to wait. You're here to build. And you already have what you need. This is your reset. Your page 1. The moment when your voice becomes a wand and your life begins to echo it back. So go ahead. Start where you are. The magician has spoken. And so have you. After everything you've released, after the truth shook you awake, after you reclaimed your voice and began to rebuild your sense of self, life begins to move. And not just internally. You'll start to see it on the outside too. Small signs at first, then bigger shifts, a message you weren't expecting, a conversation that opens a door, an opportunity that lands softly but significantly. This is not a coincidence, Leo. This is your alignment finally echoing through the physical world. And when it starts, it happens in clusters. You may receive good news about money, a financial breakthrough, a debt cleared, a raise that affirms your worth in more than words. Or it could be something even deeper, a family matter resolving itself in a way that brings peace, or a step forward in your work that finally feels like movement after long stillness. These are the tangible rewards of the internal labor you've been doing, the divine proof that healing is never wasted effort. In astrology, this moment is often supported by Venus moving into your Cygni transit that bathes you in both beauty and magnetism. Venus rules money, love, comfort, and self-worth. When she travels through Leo, your natural charisma is amplified. You attract more ease, more admiration, more abundance, but only if you're willing to believe you're worthy of it. That's where the real work still lives. Because with abundance comes the test. Can you receive without shrinking? Can you stay open without letting yourself be vulnerable to the wrong people? The tarot here brings a clear message. The Nine of Pentacles confirms that you are stepping into a space of independence, grace, and earned success. This is not luck, it's the result of your resilience. But beside it, the Seven of Swords appears like a quiet shadow. It warns of those who might be smiling at your shine while secretly hoping you'll fall. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. This is why discernment becomes your best protection. You don't need to close your heart, Leo, but you do need to trust your gut. If someone feels off, pause. If an offer feels too good too fast, breathe. Not everything that glitters is gold, and not everyone who claps is cheering for you. This is not paranoia, it's energy hygiene. One of the simplest ways to support your intuition right now is through your body. Start with hydration. Water carries frequency. The clearer your body, the clearer your energy field. And before any decision, try this: pause, take 3 full breaths, and check in. Not with your fear. Not with your past. With your presence. That small space between stimulus and response. That's where your power lives now. You might be wondering, how do I know if something is meant for me? Here's the answer: it won't need to be chased, only chosen. What's meant for you won't exhaust you. It will expand you. So let's do something together. If you've recently received a piece of good news around finances or career, celebrate it by writing it in the comments below. Share it not to boast, but to anchor it. And if you're still waiting on that moment, write it anyway. That's how we activate the law of attraction. That's how we declare, I'm ready. You're not the same version of yourself who used to doubt their place at the table. You built this seat. You earned it. So sit in it fully. Receive without apology. Move forward without asking for permission. This chapter is one you co-wrote with the universe. Now it's time to live it. Leo, you're not standing at the edge of something to fail, you're standing there to fly. What may have once felt like a cliff, like a risk, like too much unknown, is actually your runway. The fear in your chest? It's not a warning to retreat. It's your power gathering itself. You are not here to be saved. You are here to remember you were never lost. What we've explored today: the breaking of illusions, the quiet reclaiming of your voice, the arrival of the unexpected message, the return of your inner magician, the tangible shifts in your external world. None of it matters unless you choose to see. And more importantly, to act. So ask yourself now, what would happen if I stopped waiting? If I stopped negotiating with doubt? If I stopped giving second chances to energy that doesn't even meet me halfway? What if I said no with love? What if I stood still, not to freeze, but to face myself fully? Could that be the moment everything starts to move in my favor? I believe it is. You don't need perfect clarity to take the first step. You need presence. You need pause. You need to stop letting noise rush you into half-living. That's the moment everything starts to shift, when you stop just before the fall, not in fear, but in full awareness of your wings. From this place, Leo, you choose again. You choose what stays and what goes. You choose how you respond, where you invest, who gets access. You choose the life you're building, not the one you've outgrown. So today, I invite you to choose consciously. Choose to pause. Choose to turn down the voices that try to confuse you. Choose the light that's been waiting patiently at the edge of your knowing. It's not behind anyone else. It's not hidden in the past. It's within you and always has been. Now I'd love to hear from you. What part of this message spoke to you the most? Was there a moment where something clicked, where you felt a deep yes in your spirit? Go to the comments and anchor that shift. If you feel called, affirm your energy with one of these sacred phrases. I stop so I won't fall again. I am ready to receive my true light. I am the magician. I choose my reality. This is how we build collective energy together. This is how we remind each other we're not alone on this path. And if this message moved something in you, if it opened a door or confirmed a feeling you couldn't name until now, leave a like to affirm that moment. It might be small to you, but in the energetic realm, it's a ripple of agreement. Subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness to walk this journey with us, to continue receiving messages that speak to your highest self, to your unshakable truth, to your divine timing. You don't have to rush. You don't have to know everything. You just have to believe in the next right step. And that, Leo, begins right here. You're not falling. You're finally ready to rise.